Good morning, everyone. I'm Michael Strom from Oasis Senior Advisors, and today we have the pleasure of interviewing Michelle Scolaro from 7 Gables Real Estate. Good morning, Michelle. How are you?
Good morning, Michael. How are you?
I am wonderful. So I was wondering, could you tell us a little bit about your background and your background with 7 Gables Real Estate?
I'd be happy to. So, Michael, a little bit about me. I've been married for 28 and a half years. My husband and I have 3 daughters between 18 and 26, 2 of which are still in college. And so we're recently empty nesters, so I have a lot more time to work and to play. And I've been a real estate agent for about 15 years. I've been working with 7 Gables. I chose to move to 7 Gables about 5 years ago. And I've been having a blast ever since. So a little bit about my background. Before that, I was in the exercise and fitness industry in sales and marketing. I decided to be a real estate agent because it gave me more flexible time to be with my children. But little did I know that when I have the flexibility to work whenever I want to, I'm a workaholic. So I've been trying to balance that out. But I love working with clients. I love what I do. And I love working for 7 Gables. The difference between this company and other companies I've noticed is mainly the core values. This company, 7 Gables, wants their agents to be client-centric, whereas other companies will focus on agent production. For example, we have 10 core values that are posted in every office. We have 3 offices, City of Orange, which is this one in Old Town. We have an office in Tustin and also in Anaheim Hills. And we also have a 4th office in Corona Del Mar. We're looking to expand. But so on the walls posted are 10 core values that we follow. And I'd love to read those because they're very important to me. Everyone matters. Do what you say. Be kind and respectful. Be kind, respectful, and compassionate. Show gratitude. I should have my glasses on. Build a positive team and family spirit. Create and innovate. Be authentic. That's my number 1. Be proud and active members of the community. Embrace learning and have fun. Every year we have an awards ceremony, and instead of giving awards for production, which most companies do, we all vote. It's a peer voted award, and every year we decide which real estate agent that we work with exemplifies each one of these core values. And I'm proud to say, for 3 years in a row, I got the Be a Proud and Active Member of the Community. And I've also won the Everyone Matters Award because I love helping other agents. But that's pretty much where I'm at right now. And thanks for asking, Michael.
Well, Michelle, thank you so much for sharing your background and all those wonderful core values that your company carries. So now I was wondering if you could tell us what are some of the differences with your real estate agency and brokerage that are different from other ones out in the industry?
So Michael, the way we differ is a couple of areas. One is we are very much a knowledge-based firm. The company, it's very important for all their agents to have continuing education, to make sure that they're prepared. They offer innovation, technology. I just finished an exciting course for Certified Negotiation Expert. It was my first one. It was very helpful. It talked about the differences in cultural differences, and it also helped us with generational differences and also negotiating. But the other area that we differ is we actually have a process. Many real estate companies don't have a process. The agent is on their own. Their main focus is meeting with you to tell you how much your house is worth and how great they are and what they're going to do to help you sell the home for the highest amount of money, the least amount of stress. That's pretty standard. We are more, again, client-based and relationship-based. So for example, I do not do a listing presentation. I do a listing interview because I really can't help you sell your home until I know why. It seems pretty simple, but a lot of agents don't take the time to sit and ask questions. So I will meet with a seller or a buyer, and for example, I think I have it here. So we have a 10-step buyer process. So it takes about an hour. We meet with people, and I'll just give you an example of some of the questions that we ask that are very important to me, are not only why are you looking to buy or sell, but what are your concerns? And sit and listen to their concerns. Don't tell them how to overcome every concern they have. Just sit and listen and take note. People love to talk and they want to be heard. And then actually, the most important question to me would be, if you could have this transaction or transition be as smooth as possible, tell me what would happen. And the client or the customer will give you a wealth of knowledge, which, again, taking notes and listening to what their concerns are and how they want the process to work is just amazingly insightful. One of the questions, again, that people don't think to ask is, what is your preferred method of communication? So somebody who's 85 may not have a cell phone. They may not like to text. Whereas somebody who's 25 may never answer your phone call because they've never set up their voicemail, which I've learned with my teenagers. So it's really helpful to understand what is their preferred method of communication, when you can call them or text them. Maybe they have a job where they're not able to do something like that or interact during the day. And then also, it's good to set expectations, would be the last sample. What are your expectations if you leave me a message at 9 o'clock on a Friday? What is your acceptable turnaround time that I call you back? To me, that is very important. That is probably the number one complaint that I've heard from buyers and sellers when I ask them how their last transaction went. What did you like? What did you not like about that situation and that agent? And usually the number one complaint is just that I felt the agent did not respond in a timely fashion that was acceptable for me. They did not communicate. So that is my number one goal, is to make sure that I'm communicating with the clients. But that generally is how our company differs. I could talk all day, but the company has so much support. We have a marketing suite in-house with a staff of 2 tech guys. If I ever have any issues with technology, I think 5 or 6 marketing girls, a copywriter. So we can provide to sellers beautiful literature, and we also do, this is our newest, a video box. So I have a listing, I open it up, oops, it's been charging, but it basically is a video that I can carry with me. And so this is my latest listing, so I keep this with me wherever I go, and it's a great opportunity to show somebody. You never know who's in the market for a house. That's $500,000 in Corona. But also, I guess one of the benefits of working for Severn Gables that I find is all of the electronic or digital tools offered to us, especially for the younger generation. They don't have the time, or even the baby boomer generation are workaholics like me. So for example, we provide a digital interactive marketing analysis. So they can actually go in, this is a sample of somebody I'm meeting with today to talk about their home. And we can just talk about, these are all the homes that are in their neighborhood. They can click on a home, look through all the photos of that home, decide whether or not their home matches up to this one, or maybe should be priced a little higher. So there's a lot of visual, which really tends to help streamline the process, makes buyers and sellers feel like they're involved in the decision making.
Well, Michelle, thank you so much for sharing all the different aspects of your organization. It's very fascinating. So now I was wondering, could you tell us about what services you offer senior citizens in your real estate transactions, and do you treat them any differently than any other age segment of your clientele?
Mm-hmm. Well, Michael, thank you for asking me that question. One of the reasons I enjoy working with you is because you have a passion and you really care about the seniors.
Thank you.
And so do I. I actually enjoy working with seniors for one reason: they have so many stories to tell. And I love hearing stories about history. But to answer your question, what services we offer the same services we offer everybody else to seniors. I tend to try to be a little more proactive and research a few additional areas, such as is their property in a trust versus not? Do they have family members that are going to be involved in the decision making, which is much more important. Sometimes it really helps to talk to family members who can tell me a little history about the the senior who's owns the home if they have any health issues. If they do have a little bit of memory loss where, I might not realize, after meeting for a day that the next time they may not remember who I am. So that's really helpful to do some of that research ahead of time before I meet with the seller or the homeowner who's a senior. I will talk to family members that are involved and get a history. One of the most important things is, are they willing? Are they ready to move? Sometimes you find that family members are wanting to push them out and they're not ready to move. So that's a huge hurdle. There may be alternatives to selling the home that I can offer. So that's how I'm a little bit more proactive. But the services we provide are basically the same. We have very good support with title services, with everything from handymen to contractors if they need help in any other avenue. And you're one of those people we refer. Sometimes that's the biggest hurdle. If I meet with somebody, they don't know where their parent's going to go, and I immediately call Mike Strom. But the few things that I do differently is I try to understand what generation they're from. So there's the greatest generation, which is 1914 to 25. Then you have your silent generation from 1925 to 45. Then you have your baby boomers who are just starting, some of them, to get into their senior years, because I think that's age 1945 to like 1965. So I'm on the beginning of that. But of course, I don't call myself a senior because 50s is the new 30s. So it's maybe 70s is the new 50s. But in learning what people have gone through in those generations, just listening when you go to meet them, asking the same questions that I talked about earlier. I think the only one area that I really focus on when meeting with them is asking those two questions, Michael, of how would you like to communicate? Because you don't know what how tech savvy they are. Maybe I tend to talk fast, so I will make sure I'm louder and slower, not for everybody, but if that's needed, to make sure they feel comfortable and understand everything going. And maybe have to, explain things more than one time, which is fine. And then also, I'm prepared when I meet with them with both the digital version and hard copies. For example, if someone's in a millennial, or some people don't want paper anymore, I've noticed that. So my coworker, she's trying to get me paperless. I can't go there yet. I still have to have the certain important documents printed. Well, I find that the older the person is, the more they want the hard paper. So when I go on an appointment, I will bring all the hard copy documents, but I will also bring my iPad, because I've been surprised. I had an 86-year-old that wanted to just sign DocuSign. She thought she was so cool. So those are the things that I'm careful about, and maybe I would do a little bit differently if they fit in that senior category.
Awesome. Well, excellent. Thanks for sharing that. Now, could you also, now we're on a different subject as far as your community involvement. What different things do you do in the community?
Oh, well, that's where we met. So Michael and I met. We are involved with the Orange Chamber of Commerce, and we meet once a week with other business owners to share experiences, to offer services to each other. We use each other's services. I found my hairdresser there, my auto mechanic, my insurance agent, and I've actually helped quite a few people, their friends and family, sell real estate. And so Michael and I are both, how long have you been with the Chamber?
About a year and a half.
About a year and a half, yeah. So I've been there for about 4 years. I took the role as an ambassador, and I recently was selected to be on the board of directors. Wonderful. Which is fantastic. I get to know a little more inside scoop you don't know. I'm also vice president on the foundation board for Santiago Canyon College. I was really involved in high school fundraising, mainly athletics, and so once all three of our daughters were out of high school, I needed to fill that void, and that was the perfect thing to talk to the local college and get involved there. And so we're trying to get the word out for Santiago Canyon College. There's so many resources up at the top of the hill here that people aren't aware of. And so, if, for example, we're putting together now a Chamber of Commerce mixer at Santiago Canyon College. Oh. So everybody can connect there and it will be on March 23rd on Science Night.
Wonderful.
So we'll be able to have a little bit of appetizers, meet everybody, and then go see the fantastic exhibits for the students.
Well, thank you, Michelle. Thank you for sharing all that information about your company. So now if somebody has questions or would like a consultation or talk to you about real estate needs, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Well, I would say whatever your preferred method of communication is, if you'd like to text or call me, 714-883-3678. You can also email me at mscolaro@7gables.com. Or I now have a Snapchat account. So if you'd like to Snapchat me, look me up on that.
Okay. So now what's your actual website address then for Seven Gables?
It is michellescolaro.com. That will bring you right to my web page.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you, Michelle, so much for your time.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.